Hello, this is Lucien Desar, and this is my video blog for July 4th, 2009. I hope everybody in the United States is having a wonderful Independence Day. It seems very beautiful outside in the Northeast after not having really any sun for the past month. Those outside of the United States, I hope you're having a wonderful Independence Day as well. Heck, just go ahead and go crazy. Do something independent for the fierceness and for the goodness and the free will of mankind. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, I'm sorry you're having winter right now, but maybe you like winter, but I don't know of really good skiing places. I've been working on the soundtrack for a small trailer. Well, actually all trailers are small. It's about 2 minutes in length. It's called Union Street by Chelsea Spears. And the music that I created for it has a very 1940s noir feel to it. So there's a lot of strings, there's a lot of like Bernard Herrmann type of feel, and for the very first time I actually included brass. I'm not a brass type of composer. I hate brass. I really hate composers that use lots of brass, although there are certain times it works, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Absolutely brilliant use of brass. Other forms of brass, I won't even get into it. Just sufficient to say I'm not a brass composer. But I use brass, and for the first time I also use a saxophone. I'm not a saxophone type of guy, but I use that as well. So we'll see if the director likes it or not. If she doesn't, I'll still use it for something else. What else can I report? I watched a movie last night called Borderland, and it was directed by Zev Berman, and he hasn't done very many other films. I think it was his third film. It came out in 2006 and was part of the 8 horror films distribution type of thing. And basically it involves 3 graduates that go to Mexico. Oh, here's the horror point already. 3 graduates going to Mexico. You already can see what's going to happen, right? They get drunk and they take magic mushrooms. You can even see it even worse going on, can't you? And at that point they get abducted by a Colombian drug cartel that believes in Satan, and you understand where it's going from anyways. It's a very typical type of plot point that is very popular in horror films today. However, what was interesting, it wasn't as typical as you would think as far as the screenwriting and the violence that they did use. There wasn't ample lot of violence, but the violence they did use was actually driven to an actual ethical point towards the end. So I recommend it if you happen to like horror movies. It's not like a Saw type of movie type of thing. It's like an actual horror movie. What's scary is that it was based on a true life tale. Other things to report. I've been really reflective on the aspect of Michael Jackson dying. It'd be nice if people actually focus on artists that are alive as well. And a fine example of that would be Prince. And I always have a lot of admiration for Prince because he writes all his material, he produces all his material, he even records it nowadays. He plays over 15 instruments. The man is a composing genius, basically. So anybody that's watching this, if you happen to like Michael Jackson, that's great, but why don't I focus some on Prince, because he's pretty talented as well. I do remember when I was a kid, I used to listen to Michael Jackson and see a lot of his music videos. I even did the moonwalk, and I did dance routines down in the basement. One time I did the moonwalk in front of my mother, and she freaking had a conniption. She didn't know what the hell. She thought I was probably on drugs or something like that. I also did some concerts, like my own mini concerts when I was 10 or 11 years old. I would grab all these lights that my dad used for photo sessions, and I would bring them into the living room. This was when they would go out for dinner. And he's probably watching this. He probably knows that I've done this because I told him once, but he might not have remembered. Anyways, this is what I did. I brought all the lights out, I had the music on, and I would have like a mini concert. And I had a set list, and I would sing, and I even had microphone and stand and amplifiers and stuff like that. No one was there. I would just go ahead and sing. So some of the stuff on my set list might have been a Michael Jackson song and some music from Europe. Remember Final Countdown? Oh yes, that was a popular one. Probably did some Motley Crue, some Bee Gees. It was a very widely list. Richard Marx, was his name? I can't remember. That Should Have Been Nothing song in a high falsetto. I could hit all those falsetto notes, especially when I was 10 or 11. After that, not so good. Sounded like Kermit the Frog around age 12. Anyways, now this blog is going way overboard. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Independence Day, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.